friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be going through my Boxycharm makeup and letting you know what I'm really excited to pull out and use this coming fall. Now this could be older Boxycharm makeup I've gotten, newer Boxycharm makeup that I've gotten, but I'm also going to be telling you what I have tried or decided I'm not sure if I'm going to keep. Because honestly, some things that I've noticed as I'm doing my declutters, like, 'cause I'm trying to be more mindful about what I'm keeping, what I'm using, what I'm not using. There's a few products in here that I just liked, but then didn't touch again. And it could be for various reasons, honestly. So some of these are gonna be pretty recent. Some of these are gonna be older Boxycharm items that either I really love and can't wait to use, or it's on the bubble with me. I'm really just trying to decide with my Boxycharm makeup as I'm going into a new season. Fall is such a fun time of year. I feel like that's when I pull out some of the bold lips that I feel like Boxycharm always gives me. Hence my mouth today. But they also give us some amazing eyeshadows. And I don't usually try to always do bold eyes with bold lips. Sometimes I think that's too much on me, but that's what I get a lot of from Boxycharm. So that's why I think I kind of like pick certain pieces over others. So let's just kind of get into this video. Let me tell you what I'm looking forward to using and what's kind of on the bubble for me to possibly get decluttered through the fall season with my Boxycharm makeup. And the things I'm going to be talking about are makeup. Like, I'm not talking brushes, I'm not talking skincare, I am talking makeup. Things that I get excited for in my box. Something I'm really excited to continue to use into fall are my Alamar blush palettes. I have two here. I have the light colored one and I have the medium tan one. I've honestly delved into both of these palettes kind of since I received them. I like the lighter one sometimes, but the bolder one is something that I've definitely used when I've gone out in the summertime. But I still really enjoy these. And coming from a non-blush girl, that tells you something. I still really love these and I'm excited to pull these babies out as we kind of get into that fall season, because I do love some of the orangey peachy tones in here. It's not all just like summer glow. It's got some stunning fall vibes as well. A blush that I am wearing today and that is also in my shop, my stash, is the Note blush. This is in the shade 05 Desert Rose. Now this is very pigmented. I put it on today and I was like, ooh, let's tone down the 80s just a smidge, Nicole, and I blended it out with a big brush that had nothing on it. That really helps. That's a little tip and trick if you ever go clown on yourself. If you go too ham on your blush, you can kind of like dial it back down. With this one, I definitely have to do that, but I still think it's such a stunning blush for the fall season. It's not only a great tone, it's super pigmented. I feel like this looks good on a lot of skin tones because of the type of blush it is. It is really beautiful. It can just go pow really quickly. I have a face palette here that I'm just still really on the fence about, and you're gonna have to go back to last year's videos to recall this palette. This was a this or that situation that really frustrated people at the time because it was either an empty Ofra palette with I think a single in it, or this Naked Cosmetics highlighter palette. I think I even talked about this earlier in the year that I was like, man, I can't wait to pull this out for summer, but it has been on the bubble with me for a while. And honestly, I don't remember touching this over the summer. Now granted, my summer kind of got a little wonky for me. I didn't get to do all the summer fun things that I was thinking I would because I had surgery. We're tired of hearing about that, but that's my reality right now. So this baby never got like a whole like Coachella vibe music festival use because I didn't get to do much this summer. So I'm going to kind of make it my mission to delve into this at least a little bit this fall. And if I'm just finding I'm not reaching for it, that I'm not gravitating to it, or for some reason I change my mind about if I like the product, I am going to do a declutter video and this baby may be featured in there. Again, I think these are good highlights. I do. I just don't reach for them a lot. When I did get it in the box, this is the option I really wanted. So I feel like even if I don't end up keeping it, it served its purpose, that I got a lot of use out of it when I first got it. So we shall see. Do you guys still have this if you received this option? And do you wear it on the daily? Do you only wear it occasionally, just on the eyes? Tell me how you like to use this. But another highlighter that I am wearing on my body today, and I've worn it on my face and I do enjoy it, is the Steve Laurent Jelly Highlighter. I feel like Steve Laurent has been really making an appearance in our boxes lately. So this is the one product that I think I have repeatedly used but not a lot. A jelly highlighter is very fascinating to me. I really love a powder highlighter. It's just who I am in my makeup journey. It's how I like to wear makeup. I can use this like on the body too with a damp beauty sponge. I think that works really well. I also like to apply it to my face with a damp beauty sponge. It's not as like pow, it's more of that glow from within. It's more of that you look like you have healthy skin when you have this on. So I do appreciate this on my no makeup days. Clearly that's not today, but I have liked this, so I'm excited to pull this out with my more subtle looks this fall. And like I said, I like to wear it on the body just to kind of like illuminate a shoulder or a collarbone. A blush that we have all agreed we actually love, even if you're not a blush girl, just like me, is this Laura Geller New York Baked Blush. This one is in the shade Tropic Hues, and I have found myself just reaching for this over and over again the past like 2 or 3 weeks because it gives this beautiful subtle glow with that pink tint that's not overpowering. It kind of just makes your face look like you are glowing in a good, healthy way. I really enjoy this blush. I have traveled with this blush. I just think it's stunning, and I'm really excited to keep using this into fall. I'm talking about so many blushes. Like, somebody mark the date and time right now because that's rare for me. Something that I am still rocking and still loving is the iconic London Eyebrow Sculpt and Boost Cush, whatever the heck its name is. Sculpt and Boost Eyebrow Cushion. Still loving this. Still reaching for this all the time, and I am still on my first one. I was curious how long this would live its life. I was wondering if it would dry out. It is getting drier as I use it. I did get a backup from the Charm Room weeks and weeks ago, maybe over a month ago, because I do really like this. So this is something that is super easy for me to do my brows because that's the least favorite step in my routine. I like to being able to put this on, maybe a pencil with it, and go. All right, now I have a bunch of eyeshadow palettes in front of me and a bunch of lippies, but I need to talk about one more highlighter. This is stunning on the face. It does show a little bit of texture for me, but not terrible. It is the Artist Couture Purple Dream. Now this for me isn't exactly on the bubble of being decluttered. I just need to decide how I like to use this. I'm not too big into loose highlighters, as so many of you know, because it is very messy. And I'm an already very messy girl. I'm very clumsy. I feel like I have butterfingers where I drop stuff all the time. So I feel like this is not a product that I generally would buy on my own. So I'm grateful for Boxycharm for gifting it to me to try it, but I don't reach for it a lot. So I'm very curious, if I put this in my top of mind for fall makeup, how would I like it? I clearly think that this Purpley Dream highlighter would go great with some of these bold lips, so fingers crossed. It looks beautiful in the summer too though, but I feel like for some reason like fall is when I want to pull out those purple vibes, probably because the leaves are changing. Not in Florida, but from where I'm from before, you'd see some purple leaves, and I feel like this is stunning, and it goes a lot more with those warmer toned clothing items that we all pull out in the fall. This is an older eyeshadow palette. And now when I say eyeshadow palette, I've been with Boxycharm since, 3.5 years now, I think. And this is before we got eyeshadow palettes the way we do now. Now they roll in like it's nobody's business. But before, we would only get singles when I first started with Boxycharm, or the very small trios. Sometimes you'd get a quad. It just kind of depended on what was coming out that month. But this is an old school item. This is my IBY Beauty Three's Company Trio. And I actually have used this to the point, hello, how you doing, Pan? There's Pan here and there's Pan here. This is actually really stunning. This was kind of one of those things, I don't remember what all came with that box. I'd have to go back to that old video I did. But this is the one that I was excited for, but it wasn't like top of mind. But when I did use this, I was surprised at how much I liked it. I even remember back when everybody was only doing Snapchat before Instagram kind of stole their platform base of how they do stories. I remember Jessica Braun was doing like a morning get ready with me on her Snapchat, and she tried this for the first time and was like, guys, this was like the sleeper product in the box. Everybody just kind of like didn't realize how good this was. And I was like, yes, girl, keep trying that little tiny palette because it is really good. Over the summer, I did get to go down to Miami for a long weekend when I was recovering to go see a comedy show. And this is an eyeshadow palette that I brought and kind of saved my butt because I had to do a very quick makeup change. It was really hot in Miami. I had to take a shower I wasn't expecting to, and my makeup got wrecked and I had to fix it. And this eyeshadow palette is so blendable, so pigmented, so amazing that I was like, I forgot how much I like you. I just want to put this in my makeup to go bag because it was small and neutral colors in case I needed it. Way to come through in a clutch. This was great. I'm actually wearing some of the matte brown shade that's like a chocolatey brown in my crease with some other items I'm going to be talking about. And this beautiful foily shade here. This is like a beautiful brown meets orange shade. I have that on the outside of my eye look today, along with some bold stuff that I'll get into in a second. It just blends beautifully. It marries beautifully. It wears beautifully. I'm talking a lot about a little trio here, but this was like some OG Boxycharm makeup that I still have and love. All right, one though that's kind of on the bubble for me is a very similar item. So this is the Naked Cosmetics Trio, and this literally has nothing else on the back of it, so I couldn't even tell you the full name of it if I wanted to. I highly doubt they sell this anymore, but it has 3 very bold shades, and if you have been with me long enough, you know that I loved this little palette. The hard thing about this palette though is that clearly you cannot make a cohesive look with just these 3 pieces. This is a standalone product to marry with other eyeshadow palettes. And you know, you could have, if you got this at the time, you could have been wearing this with it. You know, you got options, but this was a struggle for a lot of people, and I remember really enjoying it. However, I've now had this probably for 2.5+ years, and I went to reach for this purple shade today for my outer crease, and that's where I am seeing some patchiness still. I feel like this is definitely aged, and I didn't think, you know, like with eyeshadow palettes, I kind of don't count those expiration dates as much as I do mascaras and other important things because you don't want to, you know, hurt your eye or anything. But I feel like this did not do as well as it used to. Now the purple shade was never my ultimate favorite. I really liked this orange, and the green was pretty great too. But I'm not sure if this is, if it's done. I can't tell if it's expired or not. I'm just based off that one shade. So I'm going to keep in mind, is this something I need to keep hanging on to? Because these are small palettes that do get moved around in my beauty space a lot. So it makes me wonder, am I just holding on to this for the sake that I used to like it, or it used to be great and now it's kind of done, expired? Gonna find out, just because I'm still like, I can't even see much of the purple anymore because I used something else on top of it, but the patchiness underneath, I can still see it. So I'm like, that would be sad, but it's lived a good life. So we're gonna find out. So the next eyeshadow palette I'm gonna talk about is something that I've heard half of you say you love and that you got in a Boxy Luxe, or you hate it and you've already decluttered it, or you gifted it, or you just never reached for it. I'm falling into the category of never reaching for it. And it is my Violet Voss Pro eyeshadow palette. This sucker is the hashtag my holy grail. It has a huge mirror and a lot of warm eyeshadow options. And you guys know I love good warm eyeshadows. Clearly I am no stranger to that. But I never find myself reaching for it. And today I kind of went into my crease with Bestie to kind of like start my eye look, and it was okay, but it wasn't very pigmented. And I've said before on my channel, I really like when I can see some pigment so I can blend it and work with it and kind of go to my next step. Whereas this required a lot of like layering and then blending. I also then went into this shade Teddy Bear for my outer corner, and I had a very similar experience. But then I pulled out an OG palette for me back from my, again, beginning days with Boxycharm. This is my Pure Soiree Diaries palette. And what I did then was went into the shade Splurge right over here and went over the top of what I was working with here. And this was a lot better. This was a lot more pigmented. It blended beautifully. It was ready for that next step, whereas this took a lot more work. So I'm really torn right now because I know how much I appreciate and love this palette, and I'm still like, Pure, why did you discontinue this palette? It's amazing. But they both have very similar vibes too, as you can tell. We're looking at those warm, festive pumpkin spice vibes in these palettes here. So I even did an old video with making a pumpkin spice latte look with just this palette eons ago when I first got this palette. So I need to give these a little bit more time, specifically this one, because I don't know, like I haven't reached for this, and it's usually if something really impresses me, I can't shut up about it with Boxycharm. You guys know it's in faves and fails. It's in eye looks. You'll hear me talk about it. I never talk about this. So I'm going to give this a little bit more of a run before I decide maybe it's time to gift this away to someone else. But we'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll dip into shades that I haven't touched in a long time and be like, oh wow, these are great. So what do you guys think of this? Like I said, I know this is kind of polarizing because half the people in my comments always say how much this is their favorite Holy Grail palette, and other people say it just didn't do much for them. My eye look is so distracting today because I'm loving what's on my lid, and if you have been with Boxycharm since last year and got this palette, you'll know what it is. How you doing, Alamar? The El Malcon shade up here is just like butter. I love it. It's got this beautiful crushed pearl in it that even Gabby, who works at Boxycharm, who this is her brand, said it's so hard because people want another shade like El Malcon, and that shade is so, one, expensive, and two, hard to make because of the formula. But everybody loves it, and I have this on my lid today, and I don't know why. I just feel like this beautiful gold look is stunning in the fall. It's great for summer, great for spring. I always have people in my comments say, why do you keep saying it's only good for fall? No, it's really good for all seasons. This is just when I'm top of mind to pull this baby out with some bold eye looks. For me, that in Christmas time, you know, the winter time, is when I really start to pull out these beautiful shades. But I love this whole palette all year long. Long story long, it's already on my eye today. I'm obsessed with it. Oh, this is so beautiful. Like, I don't even, this is like witchcraft. How did she make this shade? I mean, the grace of God, that's how. It's so stunning. There's other shades in here too that are beautiful for fall. I mean, these warm shades down here, you can make a beautiful eye look, have a little bit of that blue somewhere in there for a pop. This is a yummy palette. I just adore it. And this is also in my Shop My Stash. I've been reaching for this a lot lately. It's the Pure Festival palette. I've even shown you guys before, you can just pretend these bold shades don't exist if you don't like those, or the glitters too. And it's got beautiful neutrals in here. It smells like chocolate. I love that. It's a really great palette, and it's good for travel. It's got a great mirror to it. It's got a little bit of everything you need, so I'm still excited to use this fall as well. Lippies. Let's talk about lippies because I'm so distracted with my bold eyes and bold lips today, and I had not really given this particular lippy a try yet because for me, this shade was way too much for when I got it, which I think was in spring or summer. This is the Aloha Neon Velvet Liquid Lipstick. This is in the shade FOMO, and as you can tell, it is a very berry purple undertone shade. Like, this one required a fall feel for me, my skin, and the way I like to wear makeup. If you can do this in the spring and summer, I applaud you. For me, it's just something I like a nude for that, especially with a bold eye. This is nice, actually. I'm wearing it. I've had it on now for over an hour and a half maybe, and it is not pulling. It's not too tight. It is a matte lip, so I was really curious. So not only was the shade a reason I hadn't tried it yet, but when I hear matte lips, I'm always like, be prepared to hydrate the rest of the day. But honestly, this is a very comfortable formula, and I'm really impressed with this so far. So stay tuned for how I feel about this as the fall continues. I'm always curious, like, am I gonna throw one of these things that I've not tried in a long time, or something I said I didn't like, into a faves like video at one point? You never know. That's why makeup's amazing. The other things I'm gonna talk about really quickly are some Ofra lippies. Now, this is the newer packaging, and you know I love this shade. This is the Miami Fever. I've worn this all year, not sorry. I love this shade. It's got that corally orange undertone with this vibrant lip. I love this a lot. I'll wear this all year for me personally, but I also know it's gonna look great this fall. The other ones that I have here on the older packaging I got from Boxycharms forever ago. This one is in the shade Verona, and this one is in the shade, it didn't have a sticker on it, but so many of you always seem to remember what shade this is, because I've seen you guys say it in my comments because you loved it. I really love these kind of more brown, fall feeling lips. So, and Ofra's such a great brand. I do love them. And one I'm going to try to use up is something I got last year. It is the Kat Von D shade in Lolita. No matter how you feel about her personally, I'm not going to get into that because I'm just here to talk about the makeup. This is a Boxycharm item that I loved and had in my faves category for last year because of the quality of the formula and the color for me. I really loved it, and I'm excited to break this baby back out because it is beautiful. Guys, these are all of the makeup pieces that I am really excited to be pulling out for fall from Boxycharm. And like you can tell, some of these things are oldies but goodies, or oldies and maybe need to be decluttered-ies. I don't know. We're going to find out this fall. But these are the things that I am just really excited to reach for from all my BoxyCharm journeys and all my BoxyCharm boxes. So tell me, is there anything from BoxyCharm that you are just like, yes, sister, I cannot wait to pull that out? Did I remind you of anything with this little video here of things you forgot you had in your collection, or you didn't think, oh my gosh, this is the perfect time to pull that out? Let me know in the comments below. You guys know I love talking about my BoxyCharm makeup with you guys. It's one of my favorite things. And I'm still waiting on my second box for BoxyCharm, but stay tuned because I am getting my video ready for that with try-ons, wear tests, the whole thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you happen to be new to my crazy little channel, hi new friends, I hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below to see all of the fun, loud, weird, unique videos I do every single week. Bye friends. Oh, it didn't transfer.